time to be a hero. Welcome to this week's edition of the Comic Hero Show. I'm your host, Victor Nunley, and I am the Comic Hero. Continuing my theme for the summer, which is a salute to higher education in Louisiana. I'm wearing a Southeastern Louisiana themed Comic Hero tee, and to go along with it, the Southeastern Louisiana hat that I bought. Now, this is not in any way, what I'm about to talk about now isn't in any way, it doesn't have anything to do with comics, but I just want to note that there are about two famous people to me that graduated from Southeastern Louisiana University. First one is Good Morning America anchor Robin Roberts, and then current ULM president Dr. Nick Bruno. So Robin and Dr. Bruno, if you're watching, line up. And something else, Southeastern Louisiana University was opened in 1925. It's located in Hammond, Louisiana, and roughly over 14,000 students attend there. Never stepped foot on the campus, but one thing about me, I love to learn about everything. And I found out it's a smaller college, but but it may have. But it's still a college. The only reason I decided to was mainly because of Robin Roberts, because she's just awesome. I mean, she has beaten cancer not once but twice. Okay, now to get back into protocol. So I gotta ask, any questions? All right, I have three questions this week, and the first question is from Brian Ferguson from Wake Forest, North Carolina. He asks, do you ever think they go too far with a character's powers? Yes, I do, Brian. A lot. And even though I think he is like probably the ultimate character in terms of powers, I think Dr. Manhattan pretty much fits that description, because Dr. Manhattan can do it all. I mean, he can grow tall. He can time travel. He has super strength, super speed, a healing factor, all that. I mean, he doesn't need to be a member of. He doesn't need to be a member of the Watchmen, folks. Not at all. I mean, this guy's a one-man wrecking crew. You know what? I'm looking forward to the day that DC brings the Watchmen to the current DC universe. Well, no. Then again, no, because then they would just flat out take over. It wouldn't be fair to everybody else. But there's Dr. Manhattan, and then there's and I really can't think of anyone else. But then But then there's that one hero or one character that just has one power. But no matter what, he never goes away. But it's just funny seeing him, and that's Deadpool. I mean, his healing factor. Well, okay. Now, prior to Deadpool getting the healing factor, he was diagnosed with cancer, and it was terminal. It was like stage 4. And then he goes to Weapon X, and he goes to Weapon X. They fix him up, but then it so happens that the cancer is the healing factor. And no matter how many times, no matter how times the Hulk punches his head off, he'll either grow it back or pick it up and attach it right back to his head. Deadpool. I mean, but he's not the only immortal superhero, folks. There's also, believe it or not, one immortal superhero, although this character is, well, technically still in the original DC universe, is Plastic Man. I mean, his powers pretty much make him immortal. I've done research, and sometime last year, I also did an episode of the Comic Hero Show where I had him go up against Mr. Fantastic. And I had it where Mr. Fantastic had seemingly destroyed him. I was wondering what happened. I was wondering. That's my sword. Thanks, Clint. Oh, for all of you who saw the last episode, episode 72, I did on Bossier Parish Community College. And by the way, if you're watching this and you haven't, unless this is your first time, if it's your first time, don't worry about it. But if this is but if you've been a long-time viewer of the show and you're watching this and you haven't watched episode 72, only got one word to say: stop! Watch episode 72 first, then episode 73, and you will see exactly what I did with that sword. All right, but yeah. I mean, I think a lot of creators go a little overboard with their powers. And you ought to forgive me. I'm pretty much no, I'm not drunk, and no, I haven't had a whole bunch of caffeine or anything. I don't do that stuff. It's just that I don't know. I'm just excited about doing this episode. I don't know what it is, but anyway, next question. This next one comes from Jake Young from Springfield, Missouri. He asks, what are the essential books to read to get acclimated to the confusing reboot of the Marvel Universe? Jake, that's easy. If you don't read any book that's going to help you get ready for that, read Secret Wars. Now, more than likely, Secret Wars, you're not going to, unless you go to like Books A Million or Second and Charles, you are not going to find Secret Wars #1. I'm sorry. It's sold out everywhere. That issue ended both the original Marvel Universe and the Ultimate Marvel Universe because they collided into each other and then they formed Battle World. But then there's some other books that, like Thor's. Now, it's revealed in Secret Wars #2 that Dr. Doom pretty much becomes everyone's god, or lack thereof. And on his left and right hand are Sue Storm and Valeria. Now keep in mind, Valeria is Reed and Sue Richards' daughter. Now you're probably wondering how that happened. Well, just before the two universes collided, Sue, Valeria, Johnny, I think Ben, and Franklin all got separated from Reed. And speaking of Johnny Storm, aka the Human Torch, right now he's no longer the Human Torch. He is the Human Sun, because now he is the sun that ignites Battle World. All because All because he refused to serve Doom. And then Thor's. Oh, and by the way, there's not just one Thor. There's like a whole legion of Thors. I mean, like Thor. There's like a Thor on every part of Battle World. And when I mean Thor, when I say Thor, I mean there are a whole bunch of Thors. I mean there's a whole bunch of Thors. Even Kit from Captain Marvel is a Thor. And even Beta Ray Bill is a Thor. Now, for those of y'all who don't know who Beta Ray Bill is, he is pretty much an alien horse who wields a hammer. I tell you, when I was a little boy, and this is before I really paid attention. This is only when I paid attention to the artwork and not what was inside the speech balloons. When I first saw Beta Ray Bill, I think I was about 7, 8 years old. I got scared the heck out of. Like, I was like, what the fudge is this? Well, and then there's some other stuff going on, like it's not directly tied to Secret Wars because Spider-Man, or should I say Peter Parker, was one of the characters from the original Marvel Universe who survived the collision. But there's this miniseries called Amazing Spider-Man: Renew Your Vows, which is kind of a tale. It's pretty much the story we've been wanting to hear even before the One More Day story arc, which was the story arc that prevented Aunt May from dying, but at the same time it erased Peter Parker and Mary Jane Watson's marriage. Now, in a way, it's sort of a what-if story, because in this one, Peter and Mary Jane are still married, and they have a daughter named Annie, who they named after Aunt May's Aunt Anna. That's right, folks. They have a daughter, but they didn't name her after Aunt May. And but he finds out he's like one of the few characters who's around. Everybody else has died, well, except for Captain America and a few other characters. But if you don't, I can go on and on with all these miniseries within the Secret Wars miniseries. I mean, there's Battle World, there's Future Perfect, there's Captain Marvel and the Carol Corps. But if you don't read any book, read Secret Wars. Secret Wars, definitely. Okay. This last question comes from Kayla Sherby from Shreveport, Louisiana. She asks, who is better in your opinion? As in stronger, faster, etc. Iron Man or Batman? Kayla, I thought about that. Now, that all depends on what Batman you're talking about. Now, knowing you're probably talking about Bruce Wayne. Now, Kayla, I'm not going to answer that question right now because you just killed two birds with one stone. And what I mean by that is you asked the question in the Any Questions segment, but at the same time, you made a DC versus Marvel request. Now, originally, I had one planned for myself that was really going to knock the socks off everybody, but I'm going to save that for later. Because I believe in putting my viewers, just like Spock said, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, or the one. So, that being said, on the DC side, we have Batman. On the Marvel side, we have Iron Man. These two are going to duke it out in a segment I like to call DC versus Marvel. Hulk smash! Welcome to DC versus Marvel. Today, it's Batman versus Iron Man. Batman possesses genius-level intellect, peak human physical and mental condition, is a master martial artist and hand-to-hand combatant, a master detective, and utilizes high-tech equipment and weapons. With his armor, Iron Man possesses superhuman strength and durability, a cyberpathic link with prior versions of his powered armored suit, supersonic flight at Mach 3, energy repulsors, missiles, and regenerative life support, sometimes powered by solar power. Who would win? Have you ever heard of the mismatch of brains against brawn? Well, these two have the best of both worlds. Batman wouldn't dare try to face Iron Man in his regular costume, and Iron Man wouldn't dare face Batman without his armor. It would start out with Batman going after Iron Man in the Batplane. Both of them would unload their full artillery. Iron Man shoots down the Batplane, causing Batman to eject, but not before deploying one of his armored suits. Batman would get inside the suit, and then it's on. The two would trade blows for minutes on end until Iron Man cyberpathically contacts 4 versions of his suit to deliver the final blow. However, Batman contacts Alfred from the Batcave and signals him to disable Iron Man's suit and the suits he called upon. Tony Stark abruptly exits the suit and makes a run for it, but Batman catches up with him and delivers a roundhouse kick that knocks him out cold. Batman wins. And that concludes this DC versus Marvel fight. Alright, well I hope you enjoyed the Any Questions segment and the DC versus Marvel segment. And if you have any questions for the Any Questions segment or any requests for the DC versus Marvel segment, contact info is down there. And even if you even if you request, make a DC versus Marvel request, I will gladly disregard any DC versus Marvel fights that I have. I'm gonna give you a hint as to what the DC versus Marvel fight that I have in mind. Oh, it's a certain on the DC side, it's a certain magical character who has a lightning bolt down his chest, and he only says one word, he gets his powers, but he's a man, but he acts like a little boy. And then on the Marvel side, we have a character who was just brought to the Marvel universe, who I'm very I might just start reading. But he was with another company. He was actually with Marvel UK. Now I probably gave away what I just said there. And okay, all right. I'll you know what? I'm not going to hold you all in suspense for an entire week. All right, the DC versus Marvel fight I have: Captain Marvel versus Miracle Man. It's going to happen. Not this episode. Probably in a later episode. Okay. Up next is Jake Young's favorite segment, Comically Speaking. So without further ado, let's talk comics! Alright, as promised, I'm going to give you my critique of the movie Ant-Man. It was awesome. I loved it. I think, DC, not DC, but Marvel Studios really rolled the dice on this one, taking a chance on using giving a character that not a lot of folks are very familiar with his own movie. And it paid off. I think Paul Rudd did an outstanding job as Scott Lang and Ant-Man. And then Michael Douglas made an unbelievable Dr. Hank Pym. The one thing I was kind of... The only thing I didn't like about it was that they killed off Janet Van Dyne. Like, her character died years before the movie took place. Or better yet, she didn't die. She went subatomic. We find that out later on in the movie. But instead... But it was a great movie, and I hope I'm not spoiling anything for anyone if you haven't seen it yet. If you haven't seen it, go see it. Go see it. Do it. Like after the show's over, go to the theater and see this movie. I mean it. But making Yellow Jacket the villain, genius. I mean, after all, who else who else are going to make this? Who else is going to be the villain? So they just decided, okay, let's make Yellow Jacket the villain. Now, now is there going to be a sequel to it? If there is, it's probably not going to be anytime soon. Not for the next few years. But that makes me want to see. I mean, I can't stand to wait for Captain America: Civil War to come out, because this is going to be this is Captain America: Civil War is going to be the start of Phase 3 for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's also going to mark the debut of Spider-Man to Marvel Studios, and I just can't wait. Oh, and Evangeline Lilly playing Hank Pym's daughter. And now, for all of you who've seen the extra scene to it, I'm not going to give anything away. But if you saw the extra scene and you thought the same thing I did, you knew it was going to happen. You knew it was going to happen. Now the extra scene after all the end credits. When I saw that, I wanted to say Dick Enberg's famous catchphrase. Oh my! But you know, I'm trying to be on a filter which is kind of out of character for me. But I don't want to give anything away. But go out and see Ant-Man. You'll love it. I promise. Oh, and by the way, T.I. is in it, and he plays him, and his role is amazing. I mean, he was born to play the role that he did in this movie. What else? I guess that's it. I mean, that's really the only thing I want to talk about in a comically speaking in the comically speaking segment this week. And it's been 4 minutes. But anyway, that's it for comically speaking. Now then, let's get to the comics I bought this week.
Comic books I bought this week.
Thanos. Oh no, I'm keeping that in. That's not going on a blooper reel. It's not. Okay, first up is Teen Titans number 10. Now, you're probably noticing, okay, if that's Teen Titans, why does it look like Teen Titans Go? Well, because because Teen Titans Go, they're doing a whole bunch of Teen Titans Go variant covers, and this is like the reanimated current members of the Teen Titans in the book watching Teen Titans Go. But inside the book, they're still trying to deal with the fact that Superboy is back from the dead. No sense. Alright, up next is Spider-Verse number 3. Now, I haven't gotten started with this book because I'm still trying to get caught up with some other books. And and folks, I know I've said it many times, I apologize. But when you work as much as I do, when your work hours are very unstable, then you would understand. Although I have gotten caught up with quite a few books now. Alright, up next is E is for Extinction number 3. Well, yeah, number 2. This kind of mirrors the legendary, the first run of Grant Morrison and Frank Quitely when they were on the new X-Men book. It's pretty much talking about it's kind of a what if you will. What if E is for Extinction would have ended up this way instead of the way it originally did. Great read. Some very cool stuff. Even Beast trying to find a way to get back to his prior form before growing all that blue fur. All right, up next is Uncanny X-Men number 35, and what's happening in here it's pretty much the beginning of the end. As you can see, this is Emma Frost going up against Cyclops. They are, folks, they are lovers no more. And it's about to, and it's just, something's got to give. But with Cyclops hit a woman, well, with the way he's been acting, being all Magneto-ish, or being, well, actually worse than Magneto, not surprising. Wouldn't surprise me at all. All right, up next is Flash number 42. Now, in the previous issue, the Flash is going up against this new bad guy in Central City, and while he's doing so, all of a sudden Professor Zoom shows up. Now, this isn't Daniel West, who was the Reverse Flash in earlier issues of this book. No, this is Yobert Thawne. This is the true Reverse Flash. Daniel West, don't know what the heck that is. But yeah, and then he's also, he's also getting used to having a new costume and living in a new apartment since his breakup from Patty Spivot. So does this mean that he and Iris will get together? Don't know. But given the fact that in whatever that, dang it, I forgot. Oh, in Future's End, we find out that Wally West becomes the Flash. It could happen. All right, up next is, I almost dropped the book. Up next is Wonder Woman number 42. Now, in the last issue, we saw something that I read something that broke my heart. Wonder Woman's new costume. I'm sorry, but I mean, I think this Wonder Woman right here, the Wonder Woman in this universe is the ultimate Wonder Woman. For one reason, she is the biological daughter of Hippolyta and Zeus. She's not made of clay. And the Zeus side of her really shows up when she takes her bracelets off. But she ends up getting made a new costume, and she looks less like Wonder Woman and more like Big Barda. Now in Justice League number 41, we saw the debut of Mr. Miracle, aka Scott Free. Now, Big Barda, he mentioned Big Barda in that issue. I've yet to read number 42, but I don't know whether now. I don't know. We might not be able to tell her apart. We tell them apart. Well, who knows? Big Barda may be dressed up like Wonder Woman. They may have like costume switched or something. I don't know. Okay, and lastly, Sinestro number 13. Now, Sinestro. Now this is also a Teen Titans Go cover, and Sinestro is having to deal with a lot. I mean, he's still trying to get good graces with everyone in the Sinestro Corps. Although all the other members most of the members are telling him to kiss off. All right, that's 7 I bought, which brings the total number of comics since December 1997. And don't worry, folks, I know what the count is. Nah, I'm just kidding. It's 6,894. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode and the zaniness that I displayed with it. I don't know. Today's just been a great day for me. It's been a great week, and this isn't really talking about comics, but that's the way we should all live. We should get up in the morning and say, today's going to be a good day. It may not be perfect, but it's going to be a good day. Because any day you wake up is a good day. That's just my opinion. But all right, now in this episode, I did. In this episode, well, throughout this entire summer, I did doing the whole salute to higher education in Louisiana. Now this week I'm doing Southeastern Louisiana University. Next week, and for all my ULM fam, I'm sorry I had to do it. I'm sorry I'm doing about this next one. Next week I'm doing Louisiana Lafayette, honestly. But but when I decided to do this segment, I knew that I couldn't play favorites. And along the way, I came, all of a sudden I started getting a respect for other colleges. I mean, there is a such, to paraphrase something that Morpheus said, I wish I had my glasses. But what if I told you that you could be loyal to the college you attend and show respect for other colleges? I mean, all this other, rivals. I know they're rivals. They're rival colleges. There's these college rivalries and everything. You have Southern against Southern and Grambling. You have Louisiana Lafayette and ULM. You have Duke, North Carolina, Florida State, LSU, Arkansas, all that. But at the end of but that's just sports, folks. This has absolutely nothing to do with education. To me, if you want to go to it, if there's a certain school you want to go to, even if your family doesn't want you to go there, if it's in your heart, go for it. Go there. Because it's not so much that it doesn't matter what school you go to. It only matters whether you finish or not. That's what my mom told me when I transferred to ULM, because there used to be this rivalry between Tech and ULM. Well, it did it in football, but not everything else. But that's neither here nor there. But the thing is, when I decided to do this, that I wasn't going to play favorites. I chose the school in terms of how many students go there, and I didn't want to be in my feelings about it. Because I don't want to be and also I just want to set the record straight and say that I'm not a ULM or North Louisiana homer. I have this vision for the web series. I don't want fans. I don't want fans I don't just want fans in North Louisiana. I want fans. I want to reach fans on a global scale. Because don't get me wrong. All the fans in North Louisiana, y'all the greatest. Y'all the greatest, because this is home. So your home fans are the greatest fans. But at the same time, I want to gain some more fans. I want to expand my fan base. See, that's what we should want in life, folks. We should want to think outside the box. Go for great instead of good. See the bigger picture. Somebody once asked me, out of all the episodes that I've ever done, which one's my favorite? I unapologetically said the next one. Now the next one might not be perfect. It might not be good as the previous episode, but there's not a week that goes by that I don't look forward to doing an episode here. All right. By the way, but anyway, I just want to go ahead and get that out. All right. Any question segments? Questions for the any question segments? DC versus Marvel request. Topics for the comically speaking segment. Contact info is down there. And or if you just have suggestions for the show. If there's something you want me to do, if there's something you want me to stop doing, I'm all ears, unless it's to stop doing a web series. Because if you think that I'm going to stop doing that, you're dead wrong. Besides, it's just like I say. It's just like I say on Facebook. If you post a tasteless question, or you say something derogatory towards me or the show, you're gone. And also T-shirts. I also make T-shirts for other people. I just made one for my sister. I made one for this guy that's in my graduating class. I also made one for one of my choir members at the church I play the piano at. For adults, they're $12, and for children, they're $7. Now, if you give me a shirt to make, if you give me a shirt to iron on, then for adults it's $10 and that tee, and for children it is $5 in the tee. Okay, but I think this was a great episode. Don't y'all agree? This was a pretty good episode. And again, I just want to thank all of y'all that have watched every episode since day one, since Wednesday, October 2nd, 2013, when this all got started. And you know what? The best is yet to come. Yeah, it is hot. All right, I'm Victor Dudley. I'm the Comic Hero. Stay cool. Don't stay outside and burn up, or else you'll end up like Two-Face in The Dark Knight. Okay, that's that. Only difference is he got some chemicals splatter on it, and then somebody set him on fire. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and pay for these books. I'll see y'all next week right back here at Clint's Comics for episode 74. Until then, be safe, be blessed, be a hero, and line up. Oh, that's going on a blooper reel too. Oh, I didn't mean to do that either. Okay, I don't know why I had them out in the way. Sorry folks, that's going on a blooper reel too. Alright, first up is Teen Titans number 10. Oh, I'm sorry folks. You know what, blooper reel. You know what? Mom, if you saw that, I'm so sorry. I promised you I would never do that again. Blooper reel.